Lyubov Kovalyova feels compelled to speak about her pain again and again. She tells how her son Vladislav was executed in March 3 years ago. He was 26 years old. His mother doesn't know where to go with her grief. She doesn't know where her son was buried.
We don't have a grave. That's why when our neighbors heard that Vlad was no longer alive, they laid flowers right in front of our door. And now here they are. He was such a good-looking, intelligent boy. A good boy.
Vladislav Kovalyova and a friend were accused of setting off a bomb in the Minsk subway in April 2011. 15 people died in the attack. Some human rights activists regard the proceedings against them as a show trial based on coerced false confessions. But they were both found guilty, sentenced to death and shot in the back of the neck. Lyubov Kovalyova is convinced her son was an innocent victim of arbitrary justice in the style of Belarusian despot Alexander Lukashenko.
In our case, there were specific instructions to find them guilty and kill them. Maybe they wanted to intimidate our society. Maybe there was a political background.
The death sentences were carried out in March 2012 in this prison in the middle of Belarus's capital, Minsk. This animated film shows how the last minutes of Vladislav's life may have played out. The human rights group Vesna had the film made to make people think about capital punishment. Vesna's activists maintain contact with the many grieving mothers who are not even allowed to bury their sons. Human rights activities are very difficult in authoritarian Belarus, and President Lukashenko says the death penalty is indispensable in the fight against crime.
We call for the abolition of the death penalty, because when a country has the death penalty, any procedural error can have dramatic consequences. It can lead to taking an innocent life.
A man living in Berlin knows Belarus's death row from the inside. Oleg Alkayev. He headed Belarus's execution squad for 5 years. Then in 2001, he ran afoul of his country's justice system and received political asylum in Germany. In his old job, he was in charge of the shootings of more than 130 people. He says he didn't realize how cruel the death penalty was until he lived in Germany. He followed Lyubov Kovalyova's struggle for a pardon for her son.
Lukashenko has never pardoned anyone. But in this case, he could have done it. This boy had no blood on his hands. He was found guilty only of aiding and abetting, but they shot him dead. He should have had a chance for a pardon.
3 men were executed in Belarus again last year. President Lukashenko rejected their appeals and petitions for clemency. Lyubov Kovalyova intends to continue her struggle against the death penalty in Belarus.
There should be no more cases like ours. Innocent people should no longer be condemned just because someone thinks they have an advantage from it. I don't want more mothers to suffer.
Lyubov Kovalyova hopes to learn someday where her Vladislav now lies. Then she'll have a place to take her grief.